got another wagon here for wheat, hitched up to the trailer, got all the way out to tip it out in the pile ready to take on the wagon, and I took the wrong trailer out, so I've just got the other one on now. I'll tip that off and then load it up. On one of the Merlots, and when you slow down it beeps, and when you speed up it does the same. It's ever so slightly low on hydrostatic oil for the hydraulic pump, and it's just super sensitive, and it's like splashing and making the alarm go off. It's really annoying, so I'm just going to top it up now. So the transmission reservoir's fine, but there's a bit of it damp around it, and I've topped it up now so it shouldn't beep. I only did like half a coke cancel, so got the bucket on, I'm going to load it every week. Nice and light, so it doesn't make wheel marks either, and after the rain when it's a tractor one. Just come checking a field of wheat, see how far off harvest it is, and it's actually not even fit to get out the car to look at it at the moment. I'm just waiting for the rain to pass. Just been a clap of thunder and it scared the ducks off the flood in the field. You can see them flying around there. Well, that thunder and lightning cleared the air. I didn't get any lightning on the video, which would have been really good, but it was going off all around me, but every time I was filming there was no lightning. I'm just looking at this field here that's obviously got a flood in the middle. Not that you can see, but some geese on it. I'll try and zoom in. There's the geese there. They weren't scared by the thunder, but the ducks were. So a few wild oats in it, but not a major problem. This is one that we're going to drain this winter anyway. Missed the lightning, but it's just done it again as I got back in the car, but you probably heard it then. That thunderstorm that I saw before, they had 10 mil of rain at Lim, and we only had 1 mil at the yard, but we've had a lot more in the yard since I've got back, and we've had 4 mil so far now today, 4.6 mil. We're just now back into drying barley. All the wheat is now dried, and I just tried to see if there's any more of a premium, but we've missed it now, it's gone. So the best price I can get is for November, so I'll sell that then, so it's now going into the other shed. So there's a little bit of barley that we hadn't put through the other day, so we're going to dry that, get all the barley behind this wall into that other shed. That's all dry out of the way. That'll be sold over the next sort of 12 months, to be fair. I might sell a little bit more in a few weeks just to give us a bit of room to fit the beans in. But yeah, back on wheat drying now. Back on barley drying now. Last year, we didn't have the reviews on Facebook turned on for people that visit the sunflower maze because we didn't know how. Anyway, we've turned them on this year. So obviously it's only been open for a few days. So we've had a few people leaving reviews. And then yesterday, someone turned up at dinner time. We had 25 minutes of rain yesterday. That was the only rain we had all day. It was gorgeous in the morning, gorgeous in the afternoon. Anyway, turned up, ran around the maze because it was raining, didn't have appropriate footwear on, whatever. Then didn't look at the mini maze, didn't look at the NHS sunflowers. Then left the review going, oh, it's rubbish. We were only there half an hour. It's like, well, and I want my money back. Well, one, why aren't you saying that to staff? And two, there was lots to do. Why were you only there half an hour? Everyone else is there 2 or 3 hours. Anyway, whatever. So I got a review and I put it on the Sunflowers Facebook page and said, what do people think of this? Because this is what this guy said. Anyway, everyone basically waded in on this guy saying, you know, what an idiot. We redid this, we did that, with her. And the guy got a bit upset. So he removed his review and then said, can you remove mine? So the guy's basically seen his bum for putting a public post on and then moaning that I let the public see it. The irony is crazy. Anyway, I've deleted the post now because people started like maybe bullying him online, which obviously wasn't on. But, you know, if the guy had a problem, why didn't he just say when he was leaving, look, you know, I'm a little bit disappointed, it wasn't what I expected, or, you know, or the weather's been rubbish. Would you say, well, just come back another day? But instead, he went home, turned himself into a keyboard warrior, had a little rant, didn't like it when we basically showed his rant to everyone else and said, is this correct? You know, what do you think? And people just didn't agree with him. So, little lesson there, just if you think you're going to be clever on social media, it can also be used in 2 different ways. And there's no such thing as bad publicity. Another thing as well, actually, to be fair, I need to explain about the sunflower maze. Last year it was £25 a ticket, which was basically per car, so you sort of pay per car full. If you've got a 7-seat car, it's £25 7 people. But let's say most people have 5 people in the car. You pay your 25 quid. This year we've got to charge VAT. So with that £30, you will get £25 of it makes it to the maze. The other £5 goes from VAT. Out of that other £25, then we have to pay the staff probably around a £5. That leaves £20 less. £10 then goes to charity, and £10 goes to the people that have made it happen. So if there's 5 in the car, it's £2 per person that I actually see. So if people are not going to be happy and whinge about it, then I don't really want to be able to do it. I don't want to be doing it anymore. But then that means you've robbed the charity then of £10. So, you know, have a little bit of a think about things before you go all keyboard warrior on you. Guess the hours. To look at it though, you'd think it had done about 40,000. Started up because they sound the same, don't they? Not changed a lot of these feds. Okay, guess how many hours it's done. It's not got TMS, no?
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's 56, yeah.
Very, very odd one.
Wonder why the fence got the John Deere on a low loader. Answers on a postcard. Have you set up the GoFundMe page yet?
No.
What's it going to be called?
Leaders RANT fence. Just help with an exclamation mark.
Yeah, it's poorly. Not majorly poorly, but just poorly. Just checking the dryer out now, and I'll show you how it works. This is an auger in the middle of that yellow tube, and the grain comes up it and then cascades out the top there and trickles back down. Then that cone in the middle blasts hot air into it and it sweats all the grain out. Anyway, this is how much dust it's got on it in the last few days. But see that little thing there turning? It's like a paddle. That senses how high the grain is and tells it when to stop filling. But for some reason the grain seems to be filling that side before this side. So it's overflowing off that back corner before it's hitting that centre. So I'm just trying to work out why it's doing that, but I think it could be something to do with the way this auger's placed. It's not allowing the grain flow to get close to there. It's falling in the other direction, and there's bits of straw and stuff up there, so I'm going to move that out of the way and see if that makes a difference. Just moving this sensor down here, a hole. It's got another hole in the thing, so it'll I've cut the dry off shorter. This must be the dustiest stuff known to man, and it's all down my sleeve. Basically bits of barley and bits of wheat. That should work now. I've dropped it an inch, so what happens as the grain comes up and this feels resistance as it turns, it knows that it's full, and I'll cut the drive off on the auger that fills the dryer. So hopefully it won't overflow in that corner now. I think the reason it overflows in that corner is it's the most open. This has the auger in the way, so it stops it piling up too much on this side, which is where that sensor is. So if that doesn't work, I can always move the sensor to that corner there, but that should work. That's just filling up now, so hopefully it'll rise up, hit that sensor we've just adjusted on the far side, and then it won't overflow here where it has been. And then there's the hoover now sucking the rubbish out of it, which is on that big long tube all the way to the top. But yeah, you can see it does seem to pile up in this corner a bit more than the rest for some reason. So this is the dust coming off the dryer as it fills up, and that Merlot was parked there a minute ago, but I did tell him to move it so that the dust doesn't stick to it. But apparently the dust sticks to it because there's weld splatter on the window, but that doesn't make it stick to every other window, but whatever. It's never his fault. If anyone's ever wondered what's above the drying floors and the boiler, it is a load of scarecrows, a load of nets when we're working on roofs, and an old sofa, and a piece of foam. Secret door, you see. The chaff going into the boiler. Them little rods will stop the roof blowing up. I'll sort the door out now. It seems we've made it better. And that should latch on there. Just had to mill that out with a big drill bit though, because it was a little bit low. Like a millennium project, this shed. Yeah. Looks alright though. That where a floorboard got wet. It's like a C shape. It's ridiculous, that. Another storm. Blue skies over there. Thunder. Did you wait for the rain before you set off with the mower?
Yes, sorry.
Andrew's just been to the other farm to tidy up the grass, and as he set off it started raining and he got soaked on his way back with this. But brilliant machine, and I think they can do a deal with us on swapping it to a cheaper flail for the front, and it may stay for doing all them sort of jobs and cutting mazes and stuff. Dead easy to use though. That revs it up and down, that lifts the mower up and down, that turns the mower on and off, and that puts it in and out of four-wheel drive, I think. Indicators, lights, hazard lights and horn. You've got two brake pedals this side, and then you've got that pedal makes it go forwards and that pedal makes it go backwards, and that's like an emergency brake as well for starting it. This was the last load of wheat out the dryer, and that was the one before it, so that's tipped in the back of the shed now. This will get moved over as well. It comes in out of that spout when we need it to. That box on the wall is where we've got the cold air, the clean air pulls through into the heat exchange the other side, because obviously the dryer runs on hot water through them pipe works, through the boiler that's behind that wall. So this week now, back corner, that will be there now probably till next July. So probably a year we'll be storing some grain in here for. We'll hopefully have a shed full in a few weeks. I'll show you this now before it fills up with grain. But basically this has got little holes in it, if you can see. And we've piled the grain up round it, like so, all the way up to the top, and then we put an extension on the top, and we put a fan on it, and it sucks up through the pile of grain and out the top. So it'll take the heat out the grain and exhaust it, and fridges the grain, basically makes it cool, so it'll keep for longer. The dryer is now nicely circulating with barley, and it's not overflowed. As you can see, it's quite low down at the top. First batch of barley's already out of it, second one's just on now. Only a few left to do, and then we've run out of stuff to dry, so we'll have to go combining again. The drill's all filled up, ready to go, but obviously we've had these thunderstorms, so we've not got any rape drill today, but hopefully tomorrow or Friday we'll get back out of it, get a bit more in. We've got 44 acres where we did the Scan Your Photo shoot. We're going to try and get that in nice and early. Hopefully it'll get up and away before the geese eat it. Not had a quiz question for a while, but here's a quick one. What's that for there? It's like a clear bowl, it's all red. Let me know if you think you know what's in there. Might be easy for the people that are watching in England, but maybe the people watching in different countries might not understand why it's red or what it is. If you know, leave a comment below, and also don't forget to click like or subscribe and share it to other people. Yesterday's video watched loads and loads of times, lots of support for Anthony, who sort of lost his combine yesterday. Anyway, hopefully I think the insurance are on, we're sorting him a new one out anyway. Well, not a new one, but a replacement one. Oh yeah, forgot to say, we hit 19,000 subscribers yesterday. I think as I was uploading it, hit it. So that's amazing. Not long till 20 and not long till 500 days. Don't know what I should do for the 500th day to mark it. You know, if you've got an idea, let me know anyway. But thanks to everyone that's watching, because you're all helping pay for my sprayer, which hopefully will be arriving in the next few weeks, because they've rung me today to see what nozzles I want fit into the actual sprayer itself. So we can have 3 different nozzles plus the fertilizer lines. So I've told them what nozzles to put on, thanks to a lot of help from people on Twitter that advise which they think are the best ones to work on that machine. So lots of things today. Guess how much you think Adam's tractor is going to cost to fix? Guess what that thing is on the combine. If you think you know, let me know. And also, what should I do to mark 500 days? Remember last year we insulated this wall? Well, it all blew off, and because the fan's off at the moment, we're now redoing it, but the insulation's all smashed to bits. So it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, putting it all back together.
So Sam's been in here doing it.
So Sam's done 20 minutes this afternoon doing it, and he's mowing.
20 minutes.
But that's just Sam.
Where have you been?
I've been busy.
I'll be back in a minute.
Andrew's happy to be working in the air tunnel because he's soaked after moving the mower, so he's not bothered about it being warm in there because it's drying him out. That's all for today. Don't forget you can like over there and subscribe over there, or the other way around, not quite sure. Got a great outro from Alfie coming up as well, and Connie wants to say thanks to all the eligible bachelors that have added her on Snapchat and Instagram after yesterday's mention, so she's wading through them trying to find out who she's going to marry, and I'll see you tomorrow.